Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the Prepare to Repair show. I am your host, Plumber Steve Suarez, with RJ Graham Plumbing. And today's show, we have a nice little change up. We did something on Wednesday. We did a walkthrough, and you may have seen a little tidbit on our Prepare to Repair Facebook page where we did a walkthrough and with Mack Tracey with Ferguson Supply, Kitchen, Bath, and Lighting showroom over at 7950 West 185th Street in Tinley Park. And we just put a little tidbit out there, and but we didn't put all the clips out. You're going to see them over the next week or so, possibly 2 weeks, where we went through the entire showroom and looked at everything that they had there. And I'm going to tell you, it was just phenomenal. I don't even think we touched on everything. So I'm going to introduce Mack, and also with Mack, we have some reps from American Standard and Grohe. Lixo which owns those two brands, and I'm probably pronouncing it because I got corrected when I called Grohe Manufacturing, and I was getting some tech support. They said it's Grohe.
Ooh, fancy.
Well, Porsche, Grohe.
Yeah.
If you want to call me asking me for help, you better say the name right. So I have Ken Sampson, who's joining us, along with Jim Jennings. Jim Jennings is going to be the silent partner on this one. So he's here just providing some support. Now, Mack, I wanted to ask you, what do you think about how do you think that walkthrough went?
Well, first and foremost, we're back, baby. We're back on air. Thanks for having me back.
Well,
Wednesday was fun. I think, how long were we there? 4 hours, maybe? With you brought the whole family.
Yeah.
You had a whole crew.
We had a lot to cover, and we got to see so many different brands. I mean, so many just different products that you guys have there.
Right.
And that was one of the reasons why I wanted to do that. I want people to get an idea when they hear us talking about this, and they're going to hear us talking about these brands.
Yep.
That these are just two of the brands that you carry there. But when they see these brands, they're going to go, okay, I heard about this on the radio.
Yep.
I heard these folks talk about it, and okay, I got some information on it. So this brand isn't a stranger to me, or I may have had an opinion of it that I had heard, but now, okay, done.
Right.
And so, I mean, just like, when we talk about on this show, the opinions and recommendations are based on information I'm getting from reps and industry people such as yourselves. You want to say hi? Why? Because people are going to think you're silent.
Hi.
Okay.
No, first I would like to say how honored I am to be invited to the show. Thank you so much for inviting us, and willing to help or talk about anything you would love to talk about today with American Standard or Grohe products.
Well, a lot of people have opinions on them. I mean, they really do. They don't. They've heard different things on them, and like I said, I have been I install American Standard products and Grohe products, and my opinion is, and I'm a firm believer in warranties, and if you're good, you're good. You're bad, you're bad. Mm-hmm. And we talk about the good and bad. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. My guys make mistakes. I have warranties that protect the people who buy from us. So basically, if we do make a mistake, I'm trying to speak today. It's Monday. If we do make a mistake, then we're covered. The homeowners are covered, and they're protected. The products they're covered with the product warranties. So they have 100% peace of mind that everything is done correctly. The people that I have on the show are people in various industries, and they feel the same way about their products. They feel the same way about their businesses. The good majority of them are small businesses in the area that are dedicated to providing that kind of service. That's why I have them here. Yeah. So the recommendations that people see that I make are from people that I've spoken to and I've worked with or I've talked to that share that same value of customer satisfaction and dedication to their products, warranties, and just 100% satisfaction.
And touching on that, when I was working with our friends from Lixil, the parent company of Groa and American Standard, have to catch
say
myself
that right.
on that. They told me Ken was coming on the show today, and I want to toot Ken's horn a little bit. Ken, first, what's your role at Lixil? Touch on that.
So right now, I recently took a new role at Lixil Americas. I am still a product trainer for all three brands, Grow, American Standard, and we do have the DXV brand as well. But
what is the DXV brand?
DXV brand, back in the day, American Standard used to own Jado, or as the Germans say, Jado.
Okay.
Yeah. Since the last, I think it was 2012, 2013, somewhere around there, they stopped the Jado brand. But we still needed a high-end brand for American Standard, and so that's where DXV came in.
Okay.
So DXV is made up of toilets, sinks, furniture,
okay,
shower valves, basically anything to complete a suite, meaning your bathroom.
Steve, when you and the family were in the showroom on Wednesday, that gorgeous marble console vanity with the brass legs that your wife June was eyeballing. I think she already put it on your tab already with us. That's a DXV vanity. So we have it's American Standard's high end offering that we have displayed in the showroom as well.
Okay, so when I wasn't around, you were selling. You were doing something in the back corner, and we slid that under the table.
Mack just took the credit card. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce.
This is
Mack
my last
Tracey.
time on the show. I think
his first and last time on the show. So just congratulations, live it up, buddy. This is the last one. I got a bunch of new stuff being delivered. Let me tell you.
Just back up the truck. Yeah.
But all joking aside, those were some really nice products.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
They're
we went
gorgeous.
through the whole thing. Exactly.
And I want to just talking about Ken briefly. I remember years ago, maybe 6-8 years ago, sitting through a training of yours on Groa back in the day, and I couldn't think of somebody better to kind of talk shop with us. Right. And I know you've brought some things with you today to kind of talk about some valving systems and stuff like that. But I wanted to connect you guys because I know you're big on installs and technical aspects and warranties, and there's nobody better than this guy right here. So
thank you so much. I pride myself on my product knowledge. I've been with Groa for 35 years, with Lixil purchasing both American Standard and Groa. I've had to learn the American Standard products, and products are products. Shower valves are shower valves. You know how shower valves work, kitchen faucets. Where I'm trying to do my deep dive is into the hands-free products for American Standard. They have some of the best flush valves out there for commercial install. And I'm a little bit older, but this old dog can learn some new tricks, and that's where the electronics come into play. I'm learning them and weeding my way through them, and this is where one of my coworkers and I, we have a team now, a team of 6 across the United States, where if there is a project issue, meaning a bathroom with flush valves that aren't working properly or hung up or whatever, we can actually get one of our guys involved. We can try to troubleshoot either by FaceTime, by Zoom, whatever, and push comes to shove, we will go ahead and dispatch that tech out there to the job site itself. Jim has had Cody Sampson out, yes, relation, on a couple job sites already, and it's come out very well. They fixed the issue, and all is good. Moving on.
Well, so basically, what people don't know is when you buy these products, many of them, you have a rep that if it continues to have certain kinds of issues, we can, as a contractor, if it gets beyond us, we have reps such as yourself that we can call, and then if it's something that's a head scratcher, you can go further into that and possibly even go on site to have somebody, even go as far as having somebody on site to look at some of these products. And that is why, and I will stress this again because I do this all the time, buying a product that is a reputable brand from a reputable manufacturer from a place like a Ferguson Supply, where you can go to Mack, you have a good installer, a licensed, reputable installer. You know that's done. You have place you bought it from, the installer, the manufacturer, everybody behind you on this particular product. Because at the end of the day, if this product doesn't work, they blame the product.
Always.
They always blame the product. Oh, I'm not going to buy that again. That's garbage. When 9 times out of 10, it could be something that was an installer issue.
Absolutely.
Or it could have been the installer got you or you bought a product that really didn't fit your application. And I always ask, what application are you using a specific product for, so we can get you the desired results? And that's why having the installer defer to somebody. When we walked into your showroom, you have people there that have sat down or trained by the factory reps to guide people in the right direction on these particular products.
That was one thing we discussed, and the importance of now more than ever when there's supply chain issues and stuff's a little bit more expensive than it used to be now. Making the right decision on the front end can save you a whole lot of headache on the back end once that's installed, weeks, months down the road after that unit is installed. And when you touched on, when you come into my building, whether it be working directly with me or one of my associates, not only are you getting a product expert right then and there, but with us, you get a whole network of connections to gentlemen like these guys right here that have spent 35, 40 years for a particular brand that I can, if I'm stuck, I can pick up the phone on speed dial and call Ken, and he can troubleshoot something for me over the phone. And if needed, we can send somebody out. So you, the homeowner, the end user, can have peace of mind that we've expensed all of our resources if a problem ever comes up. So especially now in an environment when things are so difficult to get your hands on, there may be a little pricier. When you do the due diligence on the front end on who you're buying that material from, just know when it's coming from us, you have all that backing from product experts and industry reps that support you, not only during that transaction, but the lifetime of that product as well.
You're not alone. Basically this.
I just rambled. You just
basically, you're not alone.
Narrowed it down to 3 words.
You're not alone. You guys are listening to me, Plumber Steve, on the Prepare to Repair show, and along with Mack Tracey and Ken Sampson with Lixel Group, the owner of, which owns American Standard and Growy brands. And we're going over the showroom walkthrough and the different product brands, and we're getting an introduction to Lixel and American Standard as well as Growy products. What we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we are going to get into a little bit more of the showroom walkthrough and Growy products, because we had a lot of conversation regarding Growy and American Standard off the air prior to the show.
Welcome back. Your dreams.
Welcome back to the Prepare to Repair show. I am your host, Plumber Steve, with RJ Graham Plumbing. And joining me in studio is Mack Tracey with Ferguson Supply and Ken Sampson with Lixel, which is the rep which owns, I keep messing that up, American Standard and Growy brands of products. Now, off the air, I was before the show, I was discussing with Ken here that my experience with Growy faucets and American Standard. Now, we install, as our toilet of choice, we install the American Standard Champion 4. And I will tell you, the American Standard Champion 4 toilet, we have put them in commercial applications, and they have performed phenomenally well in high traffic. I mean, basically, you have to make an effort to clog these up. That's why that's the one, the Champion 4 is the toilet that will flush a dozen golf balls.
Correct.
So that particular model, we've installed them since I think they came out in 2003, right around this when they made their debut.
Yeah, 2002, 2003, right around in there. Yes.
Right. And I mean, they've had some changes over the years, but for the most part, they have been durable products that have really performed. And I say that because when we install a product, one, you know how I am about warranties, we have to make sure it works. it's not going to have problems. Some toilets that you buy, they come with a plunger or an auger because you may have gotten them for, a discounted price, but they're not going to last. These products have lasted for a while. And I'm not saying it because you're here. I'm saying it because that's just what we do. When people call us up, what brand do you prefer? That's the one we prefer. And I have not had any issues with these particular toilets over the years. Recently, I was talking to them off the air. We had a customer who wanted one that was a specific, a special order toilet, and there was an issue with the tank, something not fitting right on it, and she wound up buying it. We installed it because it was special order, and she wound up she was upset with it, so she contacted the supply house that sold it. It wasn't Ferguson, okay? They told her that she would have to buy another one. Now, Ken is shaking his head at me. And that's what he was doing. He was shaking his head at me before, okay, on how that works. Now, and I'm going to let you go and tell me what we talked about off the air on that. And she bought another one, and then I talked to her, and I said, this just doesn't sound right. This is a year old, and it shouldn't have been like that. So I got the number 2 American Standard rep, and explaining the situation, I said, this just doesn't sound right. The response I got was, no, it doesn't. Let me get your information. And then all I hear is, that's me typing, or pretending to at least. And then, okay, let me get your information. Okay. And I give it a model number, everything there. Okay. I'm going to send you out a new tank assembly and everything. That's fine. This is under warranty. It's a year old. This is under warranty. This is something that never should have gotten that way. So I got the new toilet, or the new tank, installed everything. She was able to take the other tank back and get a refund that she bought. Now, that right there was a homeowner who was potentially frustrated with the product because, I'm going to blame the product when it wasn't things happen with the product. But how it was handled makes things that much more frustrating because the homeowner doesn't know. But when we got to the right people, done. And that was able to get coordinated. That's why having the chain, like we were just talking about, of having a good supplier, like Mack at Ferguson, and being able to be in contact with the right reps to say, we're going to make this and get this taken care of. That is the difference between having a frustrated customer and having a customer for life. Now, in that particular scenario, that is how the rep on the phone handled it is indicative to how American Standard handles their warranties, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So I'm not wrong on that. So, because that's the way I was kind of surprised by how all that turned out.
Like we were talking, we all have different tiers of warranty at American Standard and at Groa. So depending on what the product is, depends on the warranty. But for the most part, we do have a limited lifetime warranty to the end user, meaning a residential user. Commercial is a different warranty altogether. Mm-hmm. But the group of people that we've put together, that Lixil has put together, or American Standard Groa, as far as consumer connections or customer service, technical service, are the best.
Right.
They're the best of the best. And we keep training them to make sure that they have product knowledge on how to help anybody out. The U.S. is full of what I call the weekend warriors. I can do this myself.
Right.
So, that's what our people are there for. Well, maybe you didn't do this right or do this right. Let me walk you through and make it right. Because whether you spent $10 or $110, that's your money. And you should get what you paid for.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the thing is I always say this, everybody loves you when you do great. What happens when something doesn't go right? That's when you see the true test and the true character of the business you're dealing with. And again, I've installed American Standard toilets, And actually, we've installed faucets and all different types of products, even the commercial products. And when we've had issues, they were taken care of. It was because there's human. I tell people all the time, these are manufactured by humans. They're designed by humans. You are going to have a margin of error, and to error is human. It's just the way it is. So it's just what happens with that, because humans can make it. Humans can also make it right.
Right. And that's one thing. That's one of my mantras with myself and what I communicate down to my team. It's everyone's going to make mistakes. We all make mistakes.
Absolutely.
Ken, you're going to make a mistake. Steve, I'm going to make a mistake.
Right.
It's how fast do you resolve that mistake and learn from it,
right,
and make sure you don't make that same mistake twice.
Exactly. And getting back to our walkthrough of the showroom, on the board you saw. Just a couple brands that you were talking about was on that board of many manufacturers that you carry.
Yeah.
And we went through, and first thing walking through the showroom. You've been to the showroom over there in Tinley, right?
Yeah.
You see that big chandelier that greets you right when you walk through the door?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When I was a kid, when I see chandeliers, I used to take them off and say they were diamonds. Yeah.
True. Same here.
I got somebody mad at me for that. So somebody had a lamp that was missing a bunch of diamonds on it. Goodness. Yeah, I deserved every beating I got. It was well deserved. But walking through there, you're greeted with that. Walking through the door, you're greeted with that huge chandelier, which you think is a lot more expensive than it is.
Yeah.
Found out it wasn't. Phenomenal. And they have other sizes. Yeah. Then you are featured with these other numerous amounts of lighting fixtures that you call jewelry for the home. Is that what you call it?
Somebody said that to me. Whether it be a lighting rep or somebody, and I didn't truly believe that until I bought a new home last year and swapped out every single light fixture in my own home, and personally saw the impact that fresh new light fixtures make on a home. It's a complete 180 of what it can do, and yeah, so. Somebody coined the term "jewelry of the home" because it is the kind of the icing on the cake, and it makes such an impact to you and your guests that you have over.
And when you walk through, not only you are greeted with your lighting fixtures, you have functioning kitchen so people can get a layout.
Yep.
You have displays of different products that are different designs that you could possibly want to throw together, along with the lighting that would go with it.
Yep.
You have freestanding tubs, which are immensely popular now, and I'm sure Groa makes a nice little line that would for a faucet that would go on that freestanding tub.
Oh yes, we do.
So, and I've dealt with the Groa. I keep calling it Groe line as far as shower faucets.
Yep.
And again, people think. Let me back up. How many different lines, how many different models, designs of shower faucets or bath faucets does Groa itself make?
So we've actually scaled back some of our trim kits and just keeping the most popular. But right now, for like a standard shower valve, we have, I want to say it's 12 different trim designs.
Okay. Now, before that, talking about that it's made in the last, say, 15 years.
30.
Okay. Now, and they're all different combinations that they can mix and match. Okay.
Yeah.
The reason why I say that is because with these different types of manufacturers, that's just you. There's so many different other manufacturers that make different ones. And a lot of people, when they call a plumber, they are like, okay, well, you should be able to fix that. What is it? You should be able to get parts for it, right? It's like, okay. A lot of these are designed with such a sleek design. There's no name on it.
Yes.
And they don't have anything there because it's designed to be very into fluid and sleek, so it doesn't have that. And it's designed to be, because it's designed to be sleek, there's no screw holes. It goes together very nicely. So there's different ways that these come apart. And the last thing we want to do is, as a plumber, when we're servicing this, is say the good news is we got your faucet running. Bad news is we destroyed it to death. And you need all new trim kit on it. But you know what? Here's my invoice.
Yeah.
No, you have to be able to. And I ran across one that I wasn't sure how to come apart. I've been doing this for over 20 years. I ran across one that I was I didn't know if the parts that they were sent were correct. So I went out, and I was actually talking to Ken on this. And I went out, and I called up a Growy rep, a Growy customer service. They put me through the text board, and the woman answered, and she says, okay, take some pictures for me. So I took pictures of myself, and she says, no, not those, stupid. She says, pictures of the faucet. I said, okay, let's try this again.
Apparently, I've had people do that before. Hey, can you send me a photo? I'm talking about the faucet. I get a selfie. I'm like, no, God. Oh.
Apparently, I wasn't good enough looking. You know what?
It's happened before. It will happen again.
I'm hitting that gym. I'm just telling you, okay? So anyway, so I sent a picture of the faucet. She says, okay, it looks like this, but they did make, there was 2 different types of faucet or cartridges that went with that. If you have this, so she told me how to take it apart. Took it apart, got everything apart, and everything went in. The customer had the parts ordered. And I thought that was absolutely phenomenal that I have tech support there that was able to guide in the disassembly of this unit, and so I can make sure I had the right parts and get them back up and running and functioning like it should. Yep. And that's the way these products, that's what you want from a product.
That is what you want from your customer service.
Absolutely. So that right there, I mean, as from an installer and a contractor and a servicer, they're doing something right. Tell them, that is a definite kudos to the staff over there, customer service that are really, and tech support that are knocking it out. So, yes. And I mean,
can I throw a little disclaimer out there? Because this is funny. This has happened to me. And I'm sure you and your team have seen this before. If you are going to send a photo of your shower trim or your faucet and it's reflective chrome,
oh wow, okay,
just know we can see you in that photo. So yes. Please be clothed. Please have a shirt on because we can see what's looking back at us in that photo. So that happens more times than not.
So true.
That is kind of funny. And here's a little tech tip that you touched on it. You said you're selling, you got different shower faucets that have different types of trim kits.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let me ask you this. I don't want to put you on the spot here. Say I bought a Growy shower faucet, and it's got the 2 separate heads, and it's got maybe a couple body sprays. All right, mm-hmm. And say it's like I bought it 5-6 years ago, and everything's looking good, but you know what? I want to change something up. Now, would I be able to say, okay, I have my original paperwork here. Say I have chrome, but you know what? I see all these people talking about the black matte finishes of these faucets now. Now, would I be able to, just hypothetically, I mean, it may not be made for that, but I want to be able to change my faucets and go with a different type of look in my bathroom. Would I be able to just change the trim kits on what I have and kind of just give it a little makeover, so to speak? Would that be possible?
Well,
depending on the model, I guess.
Depending on the model of the valve itself. So you mentioned a couple shower heads and a couple body sprays.
Right.
So that would be more of a customized shower where we use our thermostatic products.
Right.
And just so you know that Growa is number one as far as thermostat technology. Just throwing that out there.
I've worked on them. They're kind of complicated, but actually fun when you start actually getting into them.
After you fix a couple hundred of them, that comes pretty easy.
Okay.
That's been me. But so with those trims, unfortunately, we're kind of scaling back as far as a central therm with volume controls off to the side.
Right.
We actually have a new product which we call Rapido Smart Control. I had to think for a second there. Where everything is on one plate. You have 3 buttons.
Okay.
And you can push the buttons. It'll turn on your shower head, your body sprays.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And this is where our technology is going at this point. We're trying to condense everything down into one plate because it's intuitive. Okay. You see the buttons there? Little buttons have icons for that, for that, for that. And that is where we will be pushing forward now. Mm-hmm. And that's where that nifty finish you were talking about, the matte black that everybody wants, will be going to. Although we do have pressure balance. Okay. We've had pressure balance since 1980 86, I believe it was.
Okay.
And there is where we have the rainbow finishes. We have different styles, handle styles. We have different trim styles. And we do have chrome, and we will have matte black very shortly, and brush cool sunrise, and hard graphite, and different finishes. Because that's really what goes into most homes, are a pressure balance valve.
Right.
And so that's where we do have a lot of different finishes. So if I can just hog the microphone for a little bit more.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, actually, we're going to be taking a quick break in a minute here, but then we can go back to that because, like I said, with people wanting to do that, as far as maybe do a refresh, that's why I was thinking about that as far as the trim kit. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break from the Prepare to Repair show here with your host, Plumber Steve, here with RJ Graham, Mack, and Mack from Ferguson Supply, and Ken with Lixil Group. And we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back to talk more about Growy Faucet.
Welcome back. Your dreams.
Welcome back to the Prepare to Repair show. I am your host, Plumber Steve, with RJ Graham Plumbing. Along with me is Mack Tracey with Ferguson Supply and Ken Sampson with Lixil, which is the owner of American Standard and Growy brands. And before the break, we were talking about the Growy faucets and the ability to, if you have an older model, to, if you want to kind of dress it up, you have the options on some models to just replace the trim kits on it to give you that updated look rather than having to go into the wall and do any kind of extensive replacement on it, replacing the faucet, which is a good option if it's available to you.
Absolutely. So like you said, you called into Growy's customer service. You didn't know what you had.
No.
But you sent a picture. Well, this is the same thing a homeowner can do. They can take a picture of their valve, their trim, and send it in and say, well, do I have any options here for new style trims, this finish or that finish, or, I have a knob and now I need a lever. And, yeah, our group of people can diagnose that or figure out which trim you have and say yes or no right there for you.
Now, as far as warranties on your standard shower faucets and, standard, just your basic, shower faucets and your kitchen faucets, lab faucets, what is standard warranty on those?
Growy started the limited lifetime warranty in 1997.
Okay.
So basically, you have a limited lifetime warranty to end user, original user of the product.
Okay.
And, I probably shouldn't be saying this, but we're pretty easygoing about the warranty. If somebody calls in and they say, well, my faucet, I'm not sure when I got it. I know I did buy it, whatnot. If it's like a hose or a cartridge, chances are good we will, goodwill you one. So, you really don't have a warranty without your paperwork, but you know what? Let me send this out to you.
A lot of people, they don't carry that. Or let me ask you this. Here's one. You have a builder who builds the house, and they ask you, okay, do you want this for an upgrade? So they go and they put that in for you, even though you are the original owner of it, but the builder was the one who purchased it. I've run into that on a few occasions where, they didn't have it, but they're the original owner. And so, I don't know if that gets tricky on it, but I guess you can kind of tell, when did you buy the house? All the questions that you'd get would kind of line up where you'd be able to get the, pretty much the answers you need, I would imagine, correct?
We'll work with them on it, yes. And if it's something that, is borderline, maybe they aren't the original owner, or maybe that was purchased prior to the limited lifetime warranty. We do also have what we call our friends and family, where it's a pretty steep discount. They can buy direct from Growy themselves and send them out a faucet and or purchase a faucet of their liking.
Fantastic. I didn't know that. See, a lot of people, when they think of Growy faucets, they think the price point is beyond their budget. And honestly, my opinion, I'm going to say I was guilty of that too. And then I started actually looking at them. And I walked by and said, whoa, really? For a Growy? And they're like, and I'm like, this ain't right? This is a markdown, right? You're getting, this is a discontinued. No, this is what we're carrying. And I was like, wow. And then I was over by the showroom on Wednesday by Mack, and I'm looking, and just you had different brands for every price point, but there was just everything else. So you have one for everybody for your remodel, or if you want to upgrade, and you can get a quality product, quality manufacturer for a great price.
Yeah. I think Matt could probably talk better on this about, our different tiers of pricing. So I will just say, no matter what faucet you get from Groa, you're still getting a quality product with the technology that we've been proud of for years and years.
That was a big thing we talked about when you came on Wednesday, and I get that a lot. People walk into our showroom, the chandelier that you saw, they immediately are blown away when they walk in, and I think the first impression when somebody walks in is, man, I can't afford anything in here.
And
have a conversation with somebody on the floor. Our brand offerings are more than anybody. That goes from plumbing to lighting to appliances. We can fit you in a package that fits your budget, style, needs, you name it. So don't be alarmed when you walk in. Ask some proactive questions. We'll do the same with you. What's your budget? What look are you going for? What's your timeline? It's a lot of communication takes place, so we can figure out what your needs are, what you're looking for, and we can position you into a plumbing, lighting, appliance package that checks all the boxes for you.
Exactly. And Groa is not to be confused with Hansgrohe, two separate corporations, two separate companies, correct?
So they are two separate companies, yes. At one point in time, going back many, many years, there was Hansgrohe, and that was family-owned business. Our founder, Friedrich Grohe, broke away, started his own company, and through the years, Hans Grohe Jr. fell ill. Friedrich Grohe was actually running both companies. And long story short, Hans Grohe Jr. passed away. Friedrich Grohe sold off Hans Grohe to the Masco Corporation. And then Friedrich Grohe just kept building his empire, the family-owned business that we know today, which is no longer family-owned. It's owned by Lixil.
Right.
But we are the largest faucet manufacturer in the world. Because we do tubs, showers, toilets. That's mainly in Europe. Here in the States, we're really known for just our brass.
Okay. Well, people get confused when they look at that. They think they're the same. Maybe one is a different line, if you will, but they're still the same company. And that kind of...
I would say I've been across the pond a few times, and you walk into any luxury hotel overseas, I would bet money that it's Grohe that's in that shower, the faucets, you name it. That it's more than likely Grohe brands that are in those hotels.
Awesome. And you brought a little safety device that Grohe is making, or that is a flood prevention.
Right. So if most of you remember, a few years ago, we had that winter vortex that came through. Some pipes burst out there. We were a little short to the game here in the States, but we do have a leak detection system. We have this guard. We call it the Grohe guard. It goes on your main line coming into the house, and when it detects a great pressure loss, like a pipe breaking, within seconds, it will shut the water off. Now, the unit can be connected also to your Wi-Fi, and you download an app on your phone, and when something like that happens, you get a push notice telling you that the pipe broke or it noticed this great loss, and I shut the water off. We also offer what we call the Sense, which is a little puck. You can use them in conjunction with one another or by itself. The little puck, you also can put on your app. You will name the puck. So, like one of my colleagues, he named his water heater.
I was going to name it Steve.
Well, you can name it Steve if you want. His water heater ended up leaking.
Okay.
Water hit the puck. When water hits the puck, it will send out an audio alert. Turns red, so you get a visual alert, but also sends you that push notice. And with him, he had both pieces in the house, the guard and the puck. Well, when water hit the puck, it shut the guard off.
So that works via, it's wireless, correct?
It's wireless, yes.
Okay, you have my attention. And so that will give you an alarm, and it will also turn the water off.
If you have it connected with or you have the guard in the house, yes. So you can use them in conjunction.
Okay. And I'm going to have an email about this. I would like that because I want to post this on the Prepare to Repair show Facebook page because people need to see this because these are things here. People are nervous about water. People are paranoid about water and especially uncontrolled water.
Right.
Going on vacation or because it doesn't necessarily have to be a pipe freezing.
No.
It could be a supply line blowing.
Exactly, yes. And it will notice that. The thing about the guard is when you connect it to the app, it is also collecting all this data.
Okay.
So it's telling you how much water you use that month. You can go into your reports and see how much water you use that month.
Okay.
Every night, being it is connected to the Wi-Fi, it knows what time it is. And it will shut the water off and it'll measure the pressure from the guard throughout the rest of the house. And if it notices a pressure loss, somewhere you have a leak.
So it'd be able to tell people if they...
Daily diagnostics.
Yes. Tell them
much.
if they have a leak at a toilet that, okay, you've got something there before they get that monstrous water bill.
Exactly. It won't tell you where it's at, but it will tell you that there's a leak. So you can go ahead and, like you said, check the toilet or maybe your laundry tub faucet is dripping. You just don't, you don't use it every day, so you don't know.
Yeah, you don't want to lose that liquid gold.
You don't, no, and water bills go up. Unfortunately, you have a leak in the wall, the last thing you want is that little leak turning into a mold issue.
Correct.
So that's where this really comes into play.
And that'll sense that type of leak.
Yes, it will call it a micro leak, but it is a leak.
Okay, that's a diagnostic. Now, is this a product that you have? It's out there. You carry this particular product?
I don't have it on the shelf yet, but we certainly can. I can anything that you're manufacturing, we can get our hands on. Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
You seem very interested. You got Steve's attention.
Anything that protects
the
home, and anything that can. I believe a lot. I believe in prevention. I believe 99% of headaches can be prevented if you take...
That's why you started the show.
Right. Exactly. Prepare to repair.
Yeah.
If you take the time on the prevention and the preparation, you can foresee a lot of the issues that you're going to have. If you handle things a certain way, you can prevent headaches down the line.
Yes.
Buying products. I mean, a lot of your problems happen because people have decided to take... that I don't want to say cut corners, but basically just sidestep some things, maybe skip a few steps where if every little thing was taken care of, every little detail was taken care of, you can minimize your risk of issues. Mm-hmm. Now, if you have a concern, then what does it cost to clean up a leak or a outrageous water bill? Because I had somebody call up and said they had a leaking toilet, and they had they got a water bill. It was like over $1,000. I want to say $1,800. I mean, and water bills have gone up. So if you can prevent that, or you can take if you have any kind of devices out there, especially let's take advantage of this technology to put it to work for us to keep us to help us save money. That's going to be the big thing. You could save money on what does it cost to repair a leak or mold or a water that's been a micro leak for a long period of time.
Right.
Just things like that you wouldn't notice. So it's definitely something to keep track of. And what is the name of this model?
This is the Groa Sense Guard.
Okay, Groa Sense.
That's cool.
Guard.
I didn't know you guys were doing that. That's see, I'm learning something here today that I can communicate out to the field with people like yourself.
If you can check pricing on that, because I would like to do that, I can maybe pilot one out there to a lucky listener.
Oh.
So if they want to text us, if you have interest in this particular...
Steve, you're king of the giveaways, man.
Yeah.
We might have something else.
Yeah, if they have interest in this, if you're out there and you're listening and you have interest in this particular device, text us to 708-964-5500 and for your chance to win one of these with installation. So that'd be definitely something that we can throw out there. And this is a Groa, and what is the name of it again?
Groa Sense Guard.
Groa Sense Guard. And this can also be purchased at Ferguson Supply.
Absolutely.
So
And what's really kind of neat about this piece, let's say, you have a summer home. I'm married with children. I can't afford one. But you have a summer home, let's say in Wisconsin, and you're coming back to Illinois, and you're like, I forgot to turn the water off.
Oh.
Right on your app, you can turn the water off.
And hit a button. He's showing me this
Ken's
button
got the app loaded,
Yes,
ready to go right here.
Yeah, he's showing me the button.
Now it's off.
Whose water did you just turn off?
Mine.
Nope. Watch this. Look at this. Boom. He's got control of everyone that's got that installed in their house.
What?
And now I can turn it back on.
Here's the thing. If someone was taking a shower, it's called comedy and tragedy. Comedy is when it happens to somebody else. Tragedy is when it happens to you.
Yes.
So I want to thank you, Ken and Jim, for both coming out here. Jim was kind of silent. He was nodding his head, and so we didn't forget anything. Thank you guys from Lixel.
Thank you.
Reps
Honored
of
to be here.
American Standard and Growy, and Mack with Ferguson.
Great to be back.
Kitchen,
Thanks,
bath,
Steve.
and lighting showroom located at 7950 West 185th Street. That walkthrough was great. They're going to have to look. People could look for the clips of just everything we went through, because we didn't even get to some of the other.
Yeah, we did a deep dive into a lot.
Right.
You were there 4 hours, I think I clocked you at. We went through everything, and unfortunately, our viewers got to see our ugly mugs for the first time. We went to video versus radio.
I may need to have you back next week if you got time, because I didn't even get to any of these products here.
Hey,
seriously.
I am as a partner to the Prepare to Repair show. We will be back anytime you need us, Steve.
I appreciate that. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on the show. It has been great, and as always, if you guys have any questions, shoot us over a text, 708-964-5500. But until then, thank you for joining us. I'm Plumber Steve, and we'll see you back here on Monday.
Thanks,
next
Steve.
Monday.